soon. My mother just texted me, despite knowing that we're.
Hi, Mom.
Oh no. All right.
Are we on the air? Are people watching this?
We're going to be on the air in just a second. I just have to mute the Twitch feed. I think we're probably on the air now.
It says live.
Oh, great. Well, this has become a staple of Quarantinis is I never know, because I'm not a tech, it's just me. I never know when we're live. So, hello. Welcome to Quarantinis, the inaugural John's New Apartment edition. Finally, I'm in my own place, out from under, you know what, it doesn't matter. We're not going to be inappropriate.
Tell us more. Like, where exactly is your new place?
So my new place is and we're going to bleep this out later, the address. No, I moved to a place in Los Feliz. I'm really excited. I just, I no longer.
Wait, are you closer to me?
I might be close to you, yeah.
Are you close to me?
Probably. I'm probably close to both of you. What?
I'm also in the Feliz.
Yeah.
Like, the Feliz as well?
Yes, I am.
So we can talk more about our respective addresses later, but I want to welcome everybody to the show. We're going to have a really nice time tonight. I'm going to attempt to teach you to make 3 cocktails instead of our normal 2 that are significant to me because they're all named after places I've lived because, you know, new place, that's the theme. Anyway, with me tonight, I'm John Hess. I'm a comedian and hobby mixologist, and we're gonna learn how to make some cocktails while bars are closed so that we can all stay home and be safe. So with me tonight, we've got Brett McCabe. How you doing, Brett?
I'm also drinking a cocktail named after a place that I've lived. So I call this one my car.
Oh wow, very nice. We're gonna come back to what's in that in a second. I want to introduce Samantha Gurowitz. Hello, Sam. How are you?
Hello. I am having actually a glass of very cheap wine, and this is the first full drink I've had in January. So
wow. Well, congrats on making it 27 days.
Did we just ruin your dry January?
I had to. Huh?
I want to make it
ruin
abundantly
your
clear.
dry January?
Well, I had like a shot before. I'm not like a teetotaler. I'm not like very strict about stuff. Still 2 drinks in a month.
It's not bad.
I try and wait 24 hours before I have my next one.
And we can talk about dry January as well, but I want to introduce Mike Cabellon. Is it Cabellon or Cabellon? I feel like I've said both and you've told me both were wrong.
I say Cabellon, and I've been told by Filipino people that that's wrong. So I never correct anyone because I don't really care. It was my dad's last name, and he's dead now. So
yep,
I'm drinking water. It was like 10 minutes before the show, and I realized I hadn't eaten anything, and I was like, oh, if I'm gonna be drinking, I should eat something. So I just ate an apple and peanut butter like a toddler, and to wash it all down, nice big glass of Wowie.
Wow. Hey, well, tasty. It's what we call ants on a tree stump. Sans the ants. That's everyone calls it that.
We said ants on a log, but that was also celery.
Right. That's why I had to change what they were on.
I got it. Okay.
The only similarity is peanut butter. Love peanut butter. All right. Well, so you know what? Yeah. Let's roll back real quick. You know what? No, because I'm trying to make 3. So we got 2 angles. Oh, see, we got 2 angles now. So I'm gonna.
Wait, you didn't introduce that guest. Who's that?
Right. This is my other guest, John Hess. Hello.
Oh. Wait. So John Hess and John Guest.
Yeah. Exactly.
Nice.
I just want to. Yeah. Okay. Everything's good.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good feeling.
This new apartment's really working out for camera angles.
Right? Yeah, it's really wonderful. We'll do a tour someday, virtual, of course. But let's start out. I wanted to start out by making a Manhattan because the first place I ever lived that was not my parents' house was Manhattan. And Manhattan is a classic cocktail. It's one of the 6 basic cocktails outlined in David Embury's The Fine Art of Mixing Drinks. And it's also my grandfather's staple. It's one of the first 2 he taught me to make, and it's delicious.
Can I take the temperature of the room here? Does anyone else think Manhattans are gross?
What is in them again?
So the way that I make a Manhattan is with 3 ounces, or 3 parts. A part is just however much you use, so an ounce. So 3 parts of bourbon or rye to 1 part of sweet vermouth. I tend to prefer rye Manhattans to bourbon Manhattans.
So it's a bourbon martini, basically.
No.
Okay, John, I have bourbon and I don't have vermouth. How would I go about making this cocktail with you?
What, Sam? It kind of is. What do you have any sort of
Weird.
like? Do you have? Oh, Stephanie Streisand's here. I wasn't sure about that. Welcome, Stephanie, if you can hear me. Yeah. Do you have any sort of red, like sweet wine? Hey, Steph, welcome. We're making a Manhattan.
Oh, how do you make it?
Well, I put 3 ounces of rye and 1 ounce of sweet vermouth into this mixing glass that you can see in the frame with the mixing glass.
Sweet
I have-
vermouth is a burlesque dancer, right?
Sweet vermouth was my exotic dancer name. Yeah.
John, I have day old Pinot Noir. Will that work in place of vermouth?
It'll be very interesting. Yeah. I mean, instead of instead of a part, maybe put like half an ounce, or eyeball it. Honestly, it might be. I have no idea.
Did I misunderstand the brief of the show and that we should be making these cocktails with you?
No, you should be drinking whatever you want. It's always fun to try to make them with me, but you never ever have to.
Okay, let's try this.
So I'm gonna grab some ice, but Brett, while I'm getting the ice, why don't you tell us what's in my car?
Oh, this is a Evan Williams whiskey. It's 1 part Evan Williams whiskey, and then 1 part flat cherry Pepsi.
Well, that sounds delicious. Whatever we want to make our quarantine drinking fun and enjoyable for all of us. What?
So
So Sam.
people said I was really dark, so I'm gonna get a light.
Oh, it's hard. It's a little hard to hear. I think the connection's a little rough, but I keep having to adjust the tie on my apron. Can anybody see? Is my tie okay?
Tie looks great.
Okay.
Shirt's backwards, but tie is great.
Is it? Oh, it is. You couldn't tell why it was wearing so weird, but you're right. My shirt's backwards. Oh, that's funny.
Again, this is something else I thought you were doing as a bit, but
none of this is a bit. I just don't ever really plan much for this show. So it's too bad that I'm left-handed because
the audience didn't see it earlier, but John was shirtless when I logged into the Zoom, and I thought he was doing like a stripper bit.
I was shirtless, and I put a shirt on because I didn't like that people would be able to see my back because it's a little hairy, That's only for
Hairy backs are fine.
But at least your back has a nice place to put a pen.
Yep. And maybe a small calculator. But so we're just gonna stir our Manhattan for a little while. We want to make sure that the ice is a little bit melted and that the cocktail comes to about the same level as the ice. Okay, we're gonna walk back over to the freezer.
Ooh.
Again, would have been a great bit if you were bottomless.
I know.
What else?
I know, but I don't think I'm allowed to show bare ass on the Twitch stream.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure.
It's the internet.
I'm not sure at all. I remain fairly ignorant of the Twitch rules. So that's our Manhattan. If you look in the other frame, I'm gonna go grab. You know what? You would garnish this with a maraschino cherry or maybe a twist of orange. Excuse me, but I don't feel like doing that. We're just gonna keep the show moving. So that's gonna be that. But let's try this. Mike, what did you wind up doing?
Okay, so I was in and out of the kitchen. What I have is one of these things full of roughly 3 parts bourbon and roughly 1 part day old Pinot Noir, stirred with a singular ice cube. and let's see how this tastes. I anticipate terrible.
Yep.
And-
I hope you don't hate it to the point where you feel like you've wasted alcohol.
I don't drink that much, so whatever.
Fair.
I'll also I'll also say I generally hate Manhattans anyway. This tastes like garbage.
I'm not surprised.
No,
You
we're
might.
the one like literally saying you hate Manhattans. There's 2 other cocktails coming.
Yeah, no, and I'm excited to try them. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, I am not a huge fan of Manhattans either. I do. Once I tried it with rye instead of bourbon, I was like, oh, this is a drink that I could have and enjoy. Just real quick, it's important to stir our Manhattans and our martinis because they're made with vermouth, which is wine, and we do not shake wine. It's
Why?
Like
Is it like a
because
whiskey?
yeah,
The
because
rule in his household.
what?
We do not shake wine in his household.
No, it's true though. We don't shake wine because wine are the babies of the alcohol world. This shirt is really bothering me now that I know about it.
Change it on camera. Change it on camera. Change it on camera.
Now put it on inside out.
Somehow it did.
One drink in, we're already moving shirts
Yeah,
around.
man.
Now it's like a
What
cake.
about this show?
All right. Happy. Nope, I'm not going to say that. Nope, doesn't matter.
John, who gifted you this apron?
My mom. It was a Hanukkah gift, and I asked her for an apron because I like to bake a lot of bread, and I didn't have an apron. And I said, like, I don't know if I want like a novelty apron or just like a plain colored apron, but it could be funny. When I was a kid, when I was like 2, and we would bake together, I had an apron that was red with yellow lettering that said Jonathan, and my mom still has it, and it comes up to like here on me now. And so she just got me a replica of that, but for adults, and I think it's the cutest thing ever.
I want to report in. I took a second sip of this, and it's gotten worse over time. Do not recommend making, especially do not recommend letting it sit out.
Yeah, I wouldn't. But right, so the rye Manhattan does, I think, a better job because it's not quite as sweet. I'm excited to make our Brooklyn, which is the next cocktail, because it's essentially the same thing, but it's with dry vermouth, so it's not as sweet at all. But I don't like bourbon cocktails. I don't like whiskey cocktails. I just like to drink whiskey, man.
Okay, since I don't have dry vermouth, what would you recommend I use in its stead?
I mean, if you have like a dry white wine.
No.
Do you have maraschino liqueur?
No.
Yeah, bro. Okay. Because that's essentially what the cocktail is. I mean, you could also just enjoy some bourbon.
Oh, can I ask you something? The one thing I do have is bitters. Can I put bitters in my cheap ass wine? Would that be a good thing to do?
I don't know. I have no idea,
like
but maybe bitters are really interesting for like a complex
Pinot
cocktail.
Noir, if that matters.
I'm sorry?
It's Pinot Noir, if
What?
that would make a difference.
I have no idea.
Pinot
I'm not as
Noir.
much. I don't know much about
Pinot
wine.
Noir.
That's so fun.
Okay,
Pinot
well,
Noir. Yep.
John, can you?
I'm sorry. Pinot what?
Pinot
Oh, now you're actually skipping.
Noir.
Oh, no.
Yes.
What were you saying, Mike?
Pinot Noir.
John, what is a bitters?
What is a bitters? That's an interesting question. Where are my bitters? Oh, there.
I have bitters and I don't even know
Not
really
terrible.
either.
You know what? I think just for fun.
I found if I put bitters sometimes in something like tea, it gives it like a nice Christmassy. It's got like an orangey, clovey kind of a vibe.
So, I'm trying to look to see if there's an actual.
It's so funny because I was like, "Hey, cocktail expert, what are bitters?" And then you just started reading the label on bitters.
Well, I wanted to see if there was like an actual definition. Like I can get basically herbal. Bitters are like I don't think they're distilled, but like it's alcoholic. It's an alcoholic mixture of like maybe roots or spices or herbs, things like that. And they've been used for medicinal purposes in the past. And basically, you add a small amount to certain cocktails, and it just sort of lifts the spirit flavor while also sort of mellowing the bite from the alcohol.
Okay, so
Yeah.
sort of the same thing that
My
herbs
mom,
would do in a dish.
The same thing that what does in a dish?
Herbs, like you add some thyme, some oregano,
yeah, it's
add some florals.
flavor. Also, so old bartender's secret, according to my mom, you put some bitters into like some club soda or something supposed to be good for an upset stomach.
Yes.
Oh.
Yep. That's one of the more accurate
My
medicinal.
mom was definitely the kind of mom that gave me alcohol to solve problems.
Oh yeah, I couldn't sleep one night, and my dad gave me a glass of white wine when I was a kid.
Drink it?
I did drink it, and I hated it. I mean, it wasn't like
Not a kid's drink. My
no.
mom gave me Kahlua.
Interesting.
That's a good kid's drink.
It's chocolate milk.
That was delicious. Brandon Alexander.
So I mean,
Sorry, there's a cat behind my butt, and it's really distracting.
hello, cat. All right. Well, I can never decide if I should finish the cocktail. I guess I should finish the cocktail. I should also make smaller cocktails.
Chug. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you could, make those parts a little.
John, do you finish 3 entire cocktails per show?
Usually it's just 2, but yes, I often say to myself, I don't leave time. I did. I had a burrito like maybe an hour ago. I don't often leave time for dinner before the show, and so what'll happen is I'll generally have like 2 full cocktails on an empty stomach. And I'll have to cook dinner, but instead of cooking dinner, I'll just order Indian food.
Sick.
Yes, I'll get drunk and
Or you wake up to Indian food.
Yeah, sometimes once or twice. It's good though. Hey, everybody likes to treat themselves every once in a while when they're a little bit tipsy.
That's right. You deserve it.
Mike, I love your lamp. I didn't get to say that earlier.
Thank you so much. It's my girlfriend's. It has a light bulb in it that will grow plants, and we don't know where to put it in our new house.
Put it near the plant.
Wow.
But then it looks all crowded because the plant's already taken up visual space.
I just realized that you meant the light from the bulb will encourage plant growth, not that the bulb will grow plants out of it.
Oh,
Yeah,
like,
inside of it.
like
Correct,
a chia
yeah.
lamp.
It is.
You turn it on, it just starts growing.
Just starts leaves everywhere. I gotta say, to the viewers who don't know me, I'm actually an intelligent person with mental and emotional maturity and acumen. This is not typically at the same time. Oh, my dad just texted me. I heard that he's watching. He heard the comment about the white wine. It's
Hi,
true,
Dad.
Dad. Dad, I love you, but it's true. And I don't know if you remember that, but yep, you gave me a small glass of white wine. And I hated white wine for a long time because of that. I mean, he didn't like hold my nose and make me chug it. It was just a suggestion. Sometimes parents can get folksy. So that's what we're calling it. Anyway, thank you for watching, Dad. Wow.
Hi, Dad.
All right, so we have one viewer at least.
How many viewers do we have? We have, I can't tell.
One of them's me.
Oh,
'cause
seven.
I was okay,
One of
we
them's
got-
me too.
Is there anything in the chat? I usually
Yeah, well, Brett said type emoji if John should wear a shirt inside out. Oh, and the pack was right. So Venmo, thank you. I want to thank I'm gonna take a brief intermission. So I want to thank the pack for letting me do this show for months now and for putting on live comedy on the internet. It's really important that we all keep doing that. And if you like what you see here tonight, Dad texted again. I remember. Then I finished the bottle.
John, every time your phone goes off, I think it's my phone, and I bet everyone does.
Yeah, it's probably true. Oh, Apple.
We all looked at our phones, right?
You guys have the option to change that, right?
Yeah, but who has the time?
Yeah, we're not. If we wanted to customize our shit, we'd have androids.
I mean, that's what I do, and that's why I have the AOL Instant Messenger message sound every time somebody texts me. So it's a fun little throwback. Throws people off.
Maybe I should have lowered.
I thought about it once, but I had to download too many apps, and I was like, "This is not worth it."
So from Manhattan, I moved to Brooklyn, and the Brooklyn is seamless transition.
We're determined to derail this show as hard as
You
possible.
just
You know,
walked
that's-
right over
Yeah.
the Brooklyn Bridge.
That's part of the point, though. I love when the show gets chaotic. It's because I get a little bit deranged. as well.
Oh, this show is shaken, not stirred.
Oh my God. So we're gonna stir things up. And we're gonna make a Brooklyn, which is essentially the same thing as a Manhattan, but we're gonna use a different kind of well, I already said it earlier in the show. Different kind of vermouth and a little bit of bitters.
A little tougher.
What?
It's a little tougher.
A little
From
tough.
Brooklyn.
Yeah, that's right. We're gonna make ourselves it's a little tougher. You gotta watch where you step.
A little
with the
cheaper.
Brooklyn.
Hey, I'm drinking over here.
Yeah.
So we're doing-
Can't you see I'm drinking here? So anyway, well, we're gonna make
Wow,
this
I
one with
feel
bourbon.
one glass of wine.
We're gonna make this one with bourbon instead of rye, and that's all I need to say about it. So let's see. We're gonna add the same amount of bourbon. This is Buffalo. This is Buffalo Trace. It's a good. This is interesting. This is a fun
Good
little thing.
stuff.
Well, yeah, Buffalo Trace is great because it's a really nice bourbon for its price point, and it's delicious by itself, and also really good in cocktails. Not every bourbon is great for cocktails, so I'm
You know,
going
it's
to.
good bourbon when there's an American mammal on it, like something the Native Americans may have hunted back in the day.
I agree.
That's a good fucking bourbon.
There are probably more bottles of Buffalo Trace in circulation than there are living buffalo in this country.
John, what's a bourbon that's not good for cocktails?
Well, I would say Blanton's, which is a really expensive and currently, due to the market, overpriced bourbon, but it's delicious. It's so good, but like you can't drink that in a cocktail. Even honestly, even Basil Hayden's, which I have as my backup for the cocktails, and it's delicious. This is my favorite bourbon at the moment. Even this, honestly, I'm not sure you should put it in cocktails. It's really good by itself. Of course, you can. You can do whatever
Yeah,
you
I
want.
was going to, as someone who is not very familiar behind a bar, wouldn't I want the best of every kind of ingredient in my cocktail?
Yes, Mike. So it's a fine line. Also, I'm making this one smaller. So it's 3 parts bourbon to 1 part vermouth, but I'm doing half ounces each because I don't want to get too crazy. I still have a movie to watch later. But so
John, what movie are you watching later?
Yeah, what are we watching?
the Editors Guild sent me a screeners link for Nomadland, and it expires. In a
Ooh.
couple
Oh,
of
sweet.
days.
So you're
Someone-
gonna stream it for us?
I don't think so. I don't want to get kicked out of the union.
Ah,
But so there's a fine line, Mike. I'm glad that you asked that. Basically, you want to use high quality ingredients, but sometimes, for example, the Real McCoy, which is my favorite rum company at the moment, has a 3-year light rum, a 5-year aged rum, and a 12-year aged rum. And that 12-year aged rum is so good and complex and interesting on its own that if you were to put it in a cocktail, you would lose some of the character that makes it so special. I'm glad that you're internalizing all of this, Michael.
Mhm.
So that's sort of the thing with any spirit is like you want to use great quality ingredients, but like sometimes you're maybe getting a little ahead of yourself. You don't need to put a McLaren in it when a Mercedes SL will do.
John, what kind of
We
bourbon
can
would you
all
That
keep
relate.
in
is
your well?
literally the bougiest thing I have ever heard.
Listen, I drive a Honda Civic. So what was that, Brett?
I was gonna say, what kind of bourbon would you keep in your well if you were a bartender?
Oh, Buffalo Trace.
Ooh,
Oh, it's a
that's
pricey
well
well.
for you.
Know that it's a pricey. So okay, well, that's the thing though. Is like I guess you
Well.
have to have a well, but what I'm saying, what I'm considering well, I guess would be more accurately described as like when somebody orders a bourbon or I'll have a
Okay.
whiskey.
No, I feel like as someone that drinks probably closer to what Brett does, it's like Evan Williams is a solid well.
Yeah.
As
Yeah,
opposed to a like Old
then-
Crow or
then
Old
okay,
Granddad.
then
I literally have both of those. Old
Then-
Crow.
then
and
then maybe to stick with bourbons, I would pick a Jim Beam type bourbon.
Yeah. fair
Maybe
enough.
Four Roses Yellow Label. I find the Four Roses Yellow
Still
Label to be.
fancy.
It's not that fancy. Four Roses Yellow
I
Label
put
is
it in a
standard.
well though.
That's when a bar has that as their well, I generally expect better of that bar, because I think that the yellow label's not great. The small batch is excellent, and the single barrel is fantastic. I find the yellow label to not really be on par, but
that's the one you put in the well with fucking Coke, you know?
Right. Yeah. If you got it. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So that's fair. Right. Buffalo Trace is not a well whiskey. That's a fair point.
Right.
I'm gonna
John,
start this
what
up
are-
while we talk. What?
John, what are the non-alcoholics you would put in your well? Like if I asked you for like a whiskey ginger, what's the ginger you'd stock?
No, Canada Dry. I have no idea.
No, that's whatever comes out of the gun. You know, that's syrup in a gun.
So to the uninitiated, one thing about me is that I'm a hobby mixologist, and I really love it. I've never worked behind a bar, and so some of these things are just things that I don't really know.
I've worked behind a bar
Yeah. Yeah.
in Brooklyn, actually.
At what bar?
At the Williamsburg Cafe, which no longer exists, on the corner of 7th and Wythe.
No bar will exist after the end of this year.
Yeah. Apparently Friday?
What? What's Friday?
Things are opening on Friday, I heard.
Oh, here
Oh,
in
yeah.
LA, yeah.
Oh
Los
yeah.
Angeles.
Because California is run by the Restaurants Association
Right,
and not by the
right
government.
before
Distracted.
the-
I forgot to add the other ingredients to our Brooklyn. I forgot to add a bar spoon of maraschino liqueur,
Ooh.
and
Now, does that taste like maraschino cherries?
well, yeah, but the ice cream sundae maraschino cherries do not taste like this. This is the original maraschino. Luxardo is, and then I'm going to add a dash of Angostura bitters.
So wait, which came first, the liqueur or the cherries? Like, are the cherries like soaked in the liqueur, and that's what makes them a maraschino cherry?
Yeah,
Those are
basically
good questions.
the Luxardo came first, but they also make cherries. Like a real maraschino cherry is a Luxardo maraschino cherry. So, anyway, I'm just gonna. I keep forgetting that I have that second angle.
Ooh, good pour. Good pour.
Ooh.
Thanks, baby. So this is our
What a nice little pitcher you have there.
what?
It's a nice like stirrer pitcher thing you have.
Thank you. It's a cocktail mixing glass. I believe I bought it on Cocktail Kingdom's website. They got some pretty nice stuff there for reasonable prices. Nobody paid me to say that, but this is our Brooklyn, folks.
You need sponsors.
Smaller.
Hey, Brooklyn.
Tell you something. Go
You know
down
what
to
thing I loved about Brooklyn is the signs on the bridges when it's like,
Oh, yeah.
welcome to Brooklyn, forget about it. And
My
then
dad-
it's like, you're leaving Brooklyn, oy vey. Like these are actual signs the government put up.
I missed the Oy vey one. My dad just texted me, when is the funny part? Did I miss it?
Wow. Brutal.
You know what? Touche, Dad. you should have done the bottomless bit. It would have been a good bit.
Can see the bottom.
Don't you worry, the Hess is yet to come.
Oh my Christ.
Oh God.
That's his last name too. He's gonna
I
hate that.
know.
I
That
think
was
he
the
just.
dad
I
joke
think
for a
at this
dad.
point, I think he knows that I'm saying this stuff about him, and that he.
Oh boy, here we go. Now it's a party.
For a
Second
second, it looked like
cocktail,
you were getting
baby.
ready to fight. Like you had had that many drinks already, and
Alright.
you're just ready to fucking go. It
So I
reminded
don't
me
work.
of
I don't
college.
work out anymore, but I still have some arm muscle, so I can intimidate people.
Mostly your dad. Yeah, let's fight your dad.
Might I'll fight anybody if I get paid enough. So I don't care.
All right, let's get you in the ring.
This is a lot of fun. We're having a good time. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, the signs in Brooklyn. I miss Brooklyn.
Me too. I bought a bagel in the valley the other day, and let me tell you,
It's
don't
not the same.
don't do that.
That's why I'm
Like
telling you.
yourself
Yeah.
and bagels. Don't do that to either of you.
He's
Yeah.
texting me again. All right. he just texted no with a lot of O's.
I
I
agree
don't
with having one very responsive member of the audience.
Yeah.
It's great. I'm just. He
Hey,
should
Dad,
make
how about you comment in the Twitch, huh?
he can make a Twitch account. That would be nice. Yeah. Oh well.
My mom
Yeah.
figured out how to Twitch, but not anything else on the internet.
Honestly, that's better than most
Yeah,
of
that's
our
great.
parents.
He's doing great.
Yeah, that's progress.
To be fair, in my dad's defense, this isn't that funny of a show. We have a good time.
Wow.
No, that's
Wow.
true. That's accurate. No, he's right.
Thank you, John.
He's right.
No,
Over
the
here
people on the
trying.
show are are notably funny people, but it's not like scripted comedy. We're just shooting the shit while I get drunk. I mean, that's the
I
show.
think if there was a live audience, there would have at least been a little bit of a snicker when we were doing our hands on the chin.
Yeah,
bit.
well, let's also not forget that John is in his underwear right now. I think that would get a response.
That's
from a
true.
live
I am.
I think that would get a
Classic.
few responses.
I
Yeah.
am in my underwear.
Oh, he's getting. John's gonna get some responses later tonight.
Okay. You're
Yeah.
gonna get a couple OnlyFans responses.
I was thinking that maybe I would set up an OnlyFans for like bread, and so like take my loaves of sourdough and just like cradle them.
Why do I feel like someone at the pack already does that?
Really? I'm the sourdough guy.
Doesn't Katie have
Follow
like
me
a
at
celery?
Cradling Bread on TikTok.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I am on TikTok as well, but that app is stupid. Anybody on TikTok here?
No,
There's
'cause I'm not
4 of
17.
me going,
Yeah.
I don't understand.
What,
I'm
Mike?
in my 30s, so no.
Yeah, same response as Brett. That's all.
Well, I mean, a lot of people in their 30s, a lot of old people. There's like 100-year-old people on TikTok.
Well, yeah, but that's different. That's like a brand. If you're like an old person on social media, that's like fun. If you're like 40 and you're on social media, that's just weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair. That's fair.
You're
But
40?
I see like a lot of dads doing spin art on TikTok. It's like, oh, here's a painting I made where I just hooked up a canvas to a drill and poured a bunch of paint on it and spun it around.
Oh,
You
that's
can buy it for $30.
Found
I
a
wanna see
niche
that.
group. Like
I
there's
mean-
specifically a spin art TikTok.
The one
section.
person I love the most on TikTok is like a gay cowboy in Texas that is just yelling at his cows all the time.
I don't know what that is. But it's fun.
Girls, just stepping on the hay. Well, like, what are you doing? He's amazing, and I adore him.
So, Mike, did you wind up making make a makeshift Brooklyn or no?
No, I'm still letting the Manhattan stew here on my table.
Why do I feel like you've done this before on this show?
I've never been on this show before.
Yes, you have.
Have I?
You were on one. You were on one edition. I think it was like you and Lindsay Ford. It was a good group. I think Jordan Myrick may have been on that night.
I'll agree to this.
She made a
but I don't
casserole, like a
remember.
squash casserole or something.
I know
Oh, I
we
do
were on
remember
a brunch Zoom once, but that was not televised.
No, that was you were even on the Pack Theater Zoom because you had just done your Gen show.
That's right. That's right.
Oh,
We
what
got
do
there. Old Crow.
Oh.
Wow. You can all see my ice melting. I'm gonna have to get some new ice.
All right,
Ooh,
in your dad's defense, when your show gets to a point where you're showing ice melting, I feel like it's time to kind of turn on the funny.
Yeah.
that's true. All right. I don't have any bits planned. Oh, let's play a game I thought of called Rile Up the Host. You guys say stuff and I'll get angry about it.
No. Why are you baiting us into offending you? You're our friend.
I didn't say offend me. I just said, get me riled up. Make me defend things, not like indefensible things. Don't make me defend anything I don't want to defend.
Oh, so it's just give John a topic and let him go for a little bit.
Yeah,
He
let me
wants us
go.
to grind his
The
gears, I think.
economy.
Oh, all right. Here's what I have to say about the economy. First of all, everyone is an idiot except for me. So money is
How
not.
Ran out of steam immediately.
Yeah.
That's not.
however-
I didn't run out of thought steam. I ran out of lung steam, and I had to breathe.
What about the Bernie Sanders meme?
Mhm.
Oh, the
Can you
Bernie
possibly
meme.
speak ill of the Bernie
I
Sanders?
love that meme. And let me tell you something. When you have people who love Bernie and when you have people who hate Bernie, loving that meme, that's a special moment for the internet in this day and age.
It
Because
really
I'm-
brings me and makes we.
Me.
that's-
Okay, John, what are your thoughts on the drama with the cast of High School Musical, the musical, the series?
Oh, all right. Listen, I'll
It's
tell
what
you.
we're all talking about.
I understand about as much of that as I understand, well, at this point, any foreign language, because I haven't been in high school for many years.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Ragging on me for not being on TikTok, but here he is, can't say shit about High School Musical, the series.
No, I understand that, like, that some teenager got her driver's license and was dating somebody on the show, but then they broke up and he started dating somebody else and somebody's talked trash about
Okay, you
somebody
got
else.
it.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah, I don't know
Well,
any of
I
that.
am aware of the story beats. It just none of it makes sense to me or speaks to me. You know, it's the same reason why I don't watch The Bachelor. I understand what's going on. It's just not for me.
What are your thoughts on The Bachelor?
It's just not for me.
Some
Here
controversial.
are my thoughts on The Bachelor. I just recently remembered that there was that a woman, Corinne, who was like absurdly wealthy and very beautiful, but also like the villain that season, right? And I was thinking about it because The Bachelor had come back, and I was like, wait a minute. I remember her. They made a big stink about her when I was at Kimmel, and there's absolutely no way that she has been following like quarantining rules. She has probably been one of the least safe people in the country.
When I was at Kimmel, nice way to sneak that in there.
Yeah.
All right, Brett, you're the only one who doesn't know me on this Zoom. So the things that I think seem casual, fair. Yep, when I was one of the lowest people on the totem pole at Kimmel and had absolutely no life because of it. This was live. I'm going to regret saying that. It was a fun experience. It's a good show.
I'm
We've already
emailing
tweeted the link
TMZ
to the
right now.
writing team. They
I'm
hate
not
it.
just covering my tracks. I had a good time there. It was just a typical
sorry.
schedule.
Yeah, hello, Jimmy? No, yeah, I got him right here. Yeah, he says he hates you. Yeah. Okay.
Oh wait, I'm getting texts. Oh, it's Jim Jam. Yeah, he's got
The
something
old
to
Jim
say.
Jam.
Oh yeah. Oh, Jimmy Jam Jam to Cam Cam.
He's not happy
John,
with
you're
you.
in trouble. You're gonna get fired again. Oh,
Look at
boy.
this. Look at this guy. This is
He's
what I
gonna
want to look
tweet
like when I'm
so
older.
hard over Holt.
Wow. That is definitely some drinking in a backyard in high school kind of shit.
Old Overholt Rye.
Brett, from everything you've said, I don't know you, but I feel like you have a long and storied history with alcohol.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
I feel like there would
Wait,
be
are you also from Florida?
No, but I feel like I would fit in.
Yeah, I think you would.
I love
Spiritually.
new metal.
You remind me of people that I went to high school with and drank with.
I have to make our third cocktail because we only have 10 minutes left.
10 minutes. Jeez. Okay.
I drank
10
my
minutes.
glass of wine, and I don't know if I should have another glass of wine. I don't remember being this drunk off of one glass of wine.
Well, but your tolerance is weak.
You
Yeah,
took a
my
month
tolerance
off.
is like nosedived in quarantine. One beer will put me out now.
I mean, the beginning of quarantine, I could have done a bottle of wine.
I still think it's crazy that I chose this year to be the year that I stopped smoking, or like last year to be the year that I stopped smoking pot.
Oh, that is the one thing I've been doing.
Great
yes.
angle. Great angle, John.
Yes.
I'm waiting for that dad
Now
text to
shake
come in
it
right
or
now.
Stir it.
Getting grapefruit juice all over my brand new counter. I'm gonna have to clean up later.
John, what are we making and what goes into it?
Right. Oh yeah. Well, we're strapped for time, so we're making a brown derby, which is the cocktail, the classic cocktail most closely associated with Los Angeles, and it's named after the classic restaurant and bar, the Brown Derby. It's another whiskey cocktail, and so it's got 1 ounce of fresh squeezed grapefruit juice. Right there. And 2 ounces of bourbon. Technically, the recipe requires 1.5 ounces, not 2 ounces of bourbon, but I tend to prefer no less than 2 total ounces of spirit, in the cocktail.
So yeah, I see 2 bourbons as well.
How long were you cooking on that one before you were like,
Not long at all.
Sam is the undisputed pun champ.
They just fly right out of there.
Yeah, exactly.
Then we've got 1/2 ounce of honey syrup just to sweeten the cocktail, and that's our drink.
I love that Papa Hess is watching this. So this is comedy, huh? Is this what
He may not be.
kids
He's on
do?
the East Coast.
I
He's on
love
the East
thinking
Coast.
from his Papa Hess.
He's on the East Coast, so there's very little. There's a very good chance that he's in bed right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's in
Listen
bed
up, old man.
watching
We'll start
his.
being funny when you can stay up till 2 a.m.
Yeah, I do kind of feel bad because he's not wrong. Oh, no one can see my face. He's not wrong.
He's in bed watching his son make cocktails in his underwear, saying, "I'm very proud of my boy right
Like
now."
a modern family.
Hey, Dad, I'm gonna move to LA to be a TV writer. Cut to January 2021, making cocktails in my undies.
Yeah, live on the internet.
Live on the
By
internet.
the way,
How
we
many
take
people-
tips. Venmo the Pack Theater.
How many people are on the Twitch?
I couldn't hear a word of that.
We're down to 4 now. I've been
Oh,
watching.
Great.
Listen, we've had viewers in the teens, which is pretty good for the pack before, but I didn't do anything to promote or plan this show, as everybody knows. February 24th at 8 p.m. Watch us then.
I actually look as someone that has sunk weeks into planning streaming shows. It doesn't pay off. I think
No.
this is the way to do it.
Well,
This is
Sam,
really how a streaming show should be. Casual. We're all in our houses chilling. Like that's what we're actually doing.
well,
So
that's part of the point. Is like this is an educational
Yeah.
show. Like it's just a group of friends hanging out, having fun. And I think, I mean, this is, maybe the least planned version of the show, but I never go too deep with it beyond just like booking a little bit further in advance. It's always chill. Now it's set up like a real show, but it's always run chill, and I think that's part of the fun. Anyway,
L'chaim to that.
l'chaim.
I'm not gonna drink this, but cheers.
Don't you dare. Oh, this is. I just bit my lip. This is good. The honey is very rich.
A brown derby sounds good. Why have I never heard of one in my entire life?
It's a classic cocktail. You don't see like that many classic cocktails outside of like martinis, Manhattans, maybe daiquiris. Margarita's not even a classic cocktail. It's just a popular cocktail.
Yeah, just run down what's in that one more time.
This
Okay.
is bourbon, grapefruit juice, and honey syrup. And it's one of those
Oh,
like
that sounds great.
yeah, you take light rum, lime juice, and sugar, and which is a daiquiri. That's like a perfect rum sour cocktail. I would say that bourbon, grapefruit, and honey is better than bourbon, lemon, and sugar, which is a whiskey sour. So a brown derby, while technically simply a richer whiskey sour, is much more than that. It's really tasty. The Gold Rush, which is just a bourbon bee's knees, so it's bourbon, lemon juice, and honey syrup, is really good too. But the grapefruit adds a really nice tartness beyond
I
the sour.
definitely want. What was the bee's knees? Bourbon bees?
Bee's knees is gin, lemon juice, and honey.
What is it with bourbon?
Gold Rush.
Gold Rush. There's so many names for
I
everything.
know, we got a lot of cocktails up in this old noodle.
Put it in the show notes.
No,
Recipe in the
That's
show
great for
notes.
thinking.
we don't have show notes. That's the other thing. It's like, I just I volunteered to host a show. I thought it would be fun, and we've been doing it. I gotta say though, it's a pain in the ass sometimes, but it's a lot of fun getting people together. God, why am I not wearing a shirt? It's a lot of fun getting people
You
together.
literally were.
Yeah, we had the same question really.
We bullied you. We cyber bullied you into taking
We're
shit.
until 2 cocktail John.
Not having a good time.
So,
So
3 cocktail John is regretting the decisions that 2 cocktail John
Three
made.
Cocktail John gets really sad and goes on weed maps and cries and closes the website before he can make a mistake.
Aw.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh,
Uh,
your ex works at Weed Maps.
Yeah. Oh boy, we're gonna get the X's and weed. I got a story for you when this live stream is over.
Oh,
Not really. But yeah. So anyway, before we're not gonna wrap up the show quite yet. We've got a lot more temporal real estate than we typically have when the panel is 6 or 7 people deep. But thanks again to the Pack for putting us on. You can Venmo at Pack-Theater. You sign up for classes even. I mean, I took a voiceover class in quarantine. It worked out really well. I mean, I got a voiceover job from it for a short
Oh,
period of time.
congrats.
look at
It's
you.
a one-day thing. I still got
That's good advertising.
Yes, it is good advertising.
You got a job out of it.
I will say that if anyone needs a voice actor,
Is that the voice?
No.
Is that the
Yeah,
accent that booked you the gig?
1,000-year-old man, was that the character?
no, that was my. Oh well, this is an East Coast commercial. It was like, "Do you like it when I say Massapequa?" That was an ad campaign from when I was in high school.
You know what's great about voice acting? Doesn't matter if you wear a shirt.
That's true. That's true. I mean, unless you're in a studio, in which case you should probably wear a shirt.
Yeah, it's weird to walk in like that.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody! It's
Sounds
just
cute.
me in an apron in my underwear. All right, go
You
home.
can't see how cute my cat is because he's a black cat.
Yeah, all it is just a black blob.
Blob. So I'm
The
sure it's an
voids.
adorable
They're
blob,
called
but it's blob.
voids on the internet. You know what I heard? Like, it used to be that black cats didn't get adopted because of superstition, that they were bad luck, and now it's because they're not Instagrammable.
Oh,
It makes
okay.
sense.
First of all,
How
anything.
horrible is
All right,
that?
all right. We're back on Rile Up the Host. Anything is Instagrammable if you know how to use a camera. So,
He's just so
Wow. You
cute.
hear that, folks? If you're not getting likes on Instagram, it's your fault.
Your
That's
fault.
all.
Yeah, bitch.
algorithms be damned. Honey right between my fingers be damned. No, learn how to use a camera. If you're gonna buy yourself a $7,000 Leica, learn to use it. All right, I shouldn't have to tell you about time value versus aperture value. Long exposures are not simply valuable because they make everything look blurry. You still have to frame the photo properly. Sorry,
I love the passion. I love it.
I agree with this rant. I do.
I study. I have a degree in film and TV production.
I get on these rants about makeup in art department, and like, you can't fix certain things in post. Like, just do it right.
All right. Well, as somebody who is in a union for post, you can fix just about anything in post. No, you really
Well, you
can't.
shouldn't have to.
You
Just
can't.
do it.
And when
But
somebody on
isn't it
set,
nice to not need to?
no, you absolutely can't fix everything in post. And when
You can't
somebody
fix telling the story visually in post.
Right.
You can fix mistakes in post. But
when somebody on set says we'll fix it in post, what you mean is I'll fix it in post, and I cannot guarantee anything. So you be quiet and you focus on what you're doing, and you won't have to fix anything, Mr. Scorsese. So
is
I
he on
never-
Twitch?
Yeah, he's
on
watching.
Twitch. He's one of the 4 people watching this. It's him.
We're back up to
Brett.
7.
Your dad.
Oh, it's Scorsese, it's Brett, it's my dad, and it's Tilda Swinton.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad and Tilda Swinton made friends with each other in Scotland. That's a true story.
Wow. Okay.
So they text each other memes now.
Yeah, they play mini golf when it's not quarantine. No, but so we were in Scotland and we stopped off to look at the Castle Arg from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. And this like Land Rover, Range Rover, one of the fancy SUVs pulls up, and I recognize who's driving. This pale, tall, skinny redhead.
Yeah, your dad didn't recognize Tilda Swinton. I think she's one of the most recognizable human beings on earth.
Well, he thought it was Riley Soliner, but
I don't even know who that is.
no,
From
he's a
New
New
York.
York comedian. He didn't think it was, obviously not.
Oh,
But
okay.
so my dad did not recognize her, and she gets out and she opens the trunk, and like I think between 6 and 8 identical Cavalier King Charles Spaniels like bound out of her vehicle. He goes up and is like, "Oh wow, there's beautiful." They just start talking. He has no idea. He just he does the dad move and just starts talking to this person about something that he finds interesting, and I can't remember if we took a selfie or if he asked her to take our picture, my brother, my dad, and my picture in front of the Castle Arg. He may have, but I don't want to quote that as the story. But anyway, yeah, my dad like struck up a very pleasant, lovely conversation with Tilda Swinton, having no idea that it was Tilda Swinton. And to this day, it's one of my favorite stories about Roger.
That's lovely.
All right, so we've got 1 minute left. I want to say thank you so much to the back for letting me have this. I'm John Hess. You can check me out at John Hess 1005 on Instagram and Twitter. I don't think I have anything else to promote. And if I did, I can't remember. It can't be that important. So let's just go around where we introduce you. Brett, you got anything you want to promote?
No, nobody gives a shit. Nobody's watching this to be like, "Oh, I love this guy. I've never heard of this guy. He's fucking great. Let me see."
I
Fucking
don't know, man.
who cares?
It's like we sometimes get good rerun view. All right, well, let me go.
People
All right.
watch the replay,
No, it's okay. Sam, thanks so much for being on the show. You got anything you want to promote?
I dropped a single that's on Bandcamp,
You did.
Samantha Jane on Bandcamp.
And the video.
I dropped Make America Great with Gen as my character Gen, and there's a video also on YouTube, Make America with a K, Great with Gen with an umlaut.
Right. Yeah.
And
Cool.
Friday I'm doing a streaming show on Instagram.
Cool. All right. Nice. Mike, thank you so much for being on the show. You got anything that you want to promote? Anything that people should be watching?
Yeah, please watch Mr. Mayor Thursdays on NBC. That's tomorrow night if you're watching this live. All four
Oh
of
my
you.
gosh.
Dad.
Where can I stream it?
Hulu and Peacock.
Yeah, it's the best. Well, thank you guys so much for being on.
Wait, so Peacock is not a website for golden showers.
It is not. No,
Okay.
it is not.
All right. Well, and on that note, thanks so much for watching. We made a Manhattan, a Brooklyn, and a Brown Derby, and you can check the internet for the recipes because I'm out of time. Stay tuned for Power Selling 101. Those guys are great.
They're great.
Keep up with the pack and stuff on their socials. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.